Barack Obama has won the Nobel Peace Prize. All right. You know what's weird is that conservatives didn't feel the same way about it. Okay? They seem to be a little aggrieved. Half the show is going to be taken up by conservatives that are pissed about it. All right, now, look, let's get real. What was my first reaction? I wake up in the morning, I see Nobel Peace Prize goes to Barack Obama, and I thought, what? I was totally surprised by it. And I thought at first, I'm going to be honest with you, I literally thought maybe it was a joke or something, or that it was an error, or that I misunderstood the story or the headline, right? And then I read it, I'm like, no, he actually won it. Now, why am I so surprised? As with everybody else, because it's so early in his first term, and he hasn't made any major peace deals in the Middle East yet, or really gotten us out of Iraq or Afghanistan, or done any of the things that he envisions, right? But he has not accomplished them yet. So if you question the award a little bit, it's not a surprising stance to take. Let's put it that way, right? We're surprised that he got the award in the first place. Now, when you look into the explanation, it's not a bad explanation. They're like, look, we want to encourage that vision, and he's got a vision of working with allies better, doing diplomacy, reaching out to the Muslim world, ending the Iraq war, and as you do the list, you go, hey, you know what? That is solid goals to have. Now, you want to keep it real? You know why he won it? Because he's not George W. Bush. This is the anti-Bush Nobel Peace Prize. And so conservatives are doubly angry about that. They're fuming. This is like a snub of Bush. Here's what I say. Hell yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. And it's so well deserved. You have to understand why Bush was such a threat to peace. Okay? Not just because he was a warmonger that started the Iraq war for absolutely no reason. Now, look, they say he started 2 wars, but you know, Afghanistan almost anyone would have done. And you might disagree with the Afghanistan war, but almost any president, Democrat or Republican, would have done something similar, okay? Now, on the Iraq war, he had no weapons, Saddam did. But you know what, put all that aside. The real problem and the real reason why George W. Bush was such an enemy of peace was because he set a terrible precedent. The first strike precedent is the most dangerous thing he could have done, which is to say, you know, if I don't like a country, or I feel a vague threat from over there, whether I have evidence or I don't have evidence, whether they have weapons or they don't have weapons, whether they would ever threaten to use those weapons against us or could even use those weapons. Is it physically possible for them to use those weapons against us? None of that matters. I can just strike a country anytime I like and start any damn war I like. Now, that is the exact antithesis of the Nobel Peace Prize, right? So when someone beats the idea of George W. Bush, of course Obama didn't run against Bush, but he ran against the idea of Bush, and says, I am going to reverse that warmongering policy and that first strike policy, well then I think that there is a legitimate case to be made that you say, all right, then we reward you for that, for reversing a very terrible precedent. And look, the reason why it's more important to do it on this stage and not to give it to someone who's smaller but who's done more, you know, has had more efforts. Like one of the guys being considered was Greg Mortensen. He's an amazing guy that's built 130 schools in Pakistan and Afghanistan in some of the toughest tribal areas and getting girls educated there. He's an awesome human being and probably deserved the award more than Barack Obama did. Not probably, almost certainly, okay? And there are many, many other people who deserve the award, right? But if you want to send a message, and one that resonates and one that's important about which way to go and which direction is going to bring more peace, well, honestly, this is the way to do it. Now, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about why he got the award and what it means. And it also subtly encourages Obama to nudge him in the direction of peace, which is also a positive thing. Look, Obama's considering right now whether to escalate the Afghanistan war or not. You could say that cuts in both directions. How can you give a peace prize to a guy who's considering escalating a war? Or you could say, hey, you know what? You give him the peace prize, then he's going to feel a little gun shy about escalating the war. Now, I don't think that's realistically going to happen, right? But as a general principle of nudging him towards peace, and saying, hey, look, you want a peace prize, don't blow that, don't screw that up, it's not such a bad idea. So it's you could argue it's a bold choice, and it's certainly a surprising choice. But if they're giving it as an anti-Bush choice, then I think it is well placed and exactly right, okay? And final thing on it being anti-Bush. Look, why Bush is so much more dangerous than the tyrants of the world like Saddam Hussein, who actually started 2 wars, is because he's supposed to be, as quote-unquote leader of the free world. I know it's a goofy little title and it's unofficial. There's no such thing as leader of the free world. But really, as leader of the developed world, okay, realistically, that's what the American president is. You're supposed to be a purveyor of peace, not of war. And if you push the developed world into war rather than into peace and into first strikes, well, then you've done great damage to peace, great damage. So I think when they look back in history, they'll look back at this and say, you know what? Not only did the Nobel Committee give this award to Barack Obama, but really, they gave it to you. I know that sounds a little, cutesy, maybe a little corny, right? But it's true. They gave it to you, the American people, for voting in that direction. And as almost a thank you to the American people for going in the right direction and going towards peace rather than war. And of course, that's another reason why it drives the conservatives crazy.